Hi folks, Tristan from NoiseGate here, taking a first look at KORG's brand new workstation Nautilus. It definitely follows in the footsteps of KORG's insanely powerful Kronos, and packs in a lot of what people love about that keyboard, including all 9 synth engines, which cover everything from acoustic pianos to electric pianos to classic synths and a lot more. In case you need a reminder of how great these 9 engines sound, here are just a few different patch examples. Nautilus comes in at a cheaper price than the Kronos, so you might be tempted to think this is just a trimmed down Kronos. But it turns out there's a lot going on here that you just won't find in the Kronos, or in any other keyboard for that matter. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at some of the features that make the Nautilus so unique, both compared to the Kronos and just as a synthesizer in general. A lot of coverage of this keyboard has been focused on the physical design, and understandably so. The front panel layout is far more sparse compared to the Kronos, with just a single fader hardwired to master volume, and 6 real-time knobs, which can quickly cycle between various functions with the press of a button. All of the knobs can be tucked away when they're not needed, so there's less fumbling for the right control on a dark stage, but can also prevent settings from being unintentionally adjusted. A 7th knob handles dynamics, which can be enabled via a dedicated button. Here you can expand or compress the instrument's dynamic range to either help cut through a busy mix, or to add expression to slow or sparse musical sections. So when you turn the knob clockwise, for example, playing a piano, you'll hear the softer notes played at a louder volume. On a basic level, Nautilus's architecture remains similar to previous KORG workstations, with programs for individual sounds, combis for multiple sounds, sequencer for recording, and setlist for organizing your patches for live performance. Nautilus might be the first KORG workstation to not feature dedicated buttons for accessing these basic modes. Instead, we have both the mode button, which acts like a home button for taking you to various parts of the keyboard, and the 6 quick access buttons, which can be programmed. But by default, A takes us to combinations, B takes us to program, C takes us to sequencer, and D takes us to setlist. On the software side, you'll find plenty of changes compared to Kronos. For example, setlist here is no longer just for selecting sounds. You can use the tabs across the bottom of the screen to quickly make subtle changes to sounds. For example, in this rotary organ emulation, we can make adjustments to both amplifier controls and drawbars. Navigating to program mode gives you full access to the rest of the parameters, including the full engine interface. For example, this piano patch gives you access to lid position and string resonance. Although it's usually thought of as just one sound, a program actually consists of multiple elements. For example, here we have 2 SGX2 piano engines, plus a drum part. Individual levels for this component are controlled via the faders in the bottom right, but they're also mapped to the 3 knobs in the top left. For example, in this patch, we can blend between a dry piano sound and a more ambient piano sound. Another interesting change from Kronos is the ability to switch between the different synth engines directly from program mode. If we choose instrument type, we can, for example, choose the EP1 electric piano engine, which gives us an entirely new interface, including the ability to choose model types. Or even a classic synth engine, like the KORG MS-20, complete with fully functional patch bay. Of course, you'll find most of the great sounds from the Kronos here, but there are also plenty of new unique sounds which we've certainly never heard anywhere, such as a category KORG refer to as prepared pianos. These sounds are generally acoustic pianos with unusual objects placed between the strings. Even the less melodic sample notes have a tremendous amount of punch and ambience and really feel like you're playing a different instrument. Some of these pianos get pretty wild, and if you need a hit of inspiration, each patch has an included drum pipe and a programmed arpeggiator. There are also plenty of cinematic patches geared towards things like film composition. So here are my top 5 favourite orchestral combis for film scoring.